We're going to pass away one day. We are here temporarily, and not for a great amount of time. And I think this is something that a lot of, I often don't think about. A lot of young people don't think about. You think dying is something that happens to old people. It's something that happens when you're in your 70s and 80s. And it's not something that happens now, so you're not really concerned with it. But when you think about it, it can happen at any single time, and you don't know when that is. If you're lucky, you get to live a full life, but it's not guaranteed by any means. And because we're here so temporarily, I think you should make as much of a good impact on the world as you can. When you're gone, people aren't going to remember the cars you had or the house you had. They're not going to remember your materialistic possessions. They're going to remember your character and what it was like to be around you, what it was like to be in your presence, the energy you had. So I think to prioritize that, I think, is a good way to live your life. I'm not saying those other possessions aren't cool to have, and I'm not saying I'm not gonna have them, but prioritizing your character and your energy is so much more fulfilling, I think, and longer lasting after your death than pursuing and obsessing over materialistic possessions. And because we're not here for a long time, the nihilist thinks that what's the point then? What's the meaning? There is no meaning. That's what the nihilist thinks. But I like to think the complete opposite. I think we're here for such a short amount of time, but I think that our existence is proof of God, and just the mere fact that what you're looking at, we are created by stars. We are created by dead stars. And just that is enough proof of God for me. And I think we have meaning. Every single one of us has meaning in these lives that we live. You should strive your best to be a good impact for the world and give love and give joy, because ultimately that's what you'll be remembered for. Appreciate the small things. Stop and smell the roses. Appreciate this earth, what we're looking at when you look around you. Basically just pondering how all this stuff gets created. I think we shouldn't get lost in our daily tasks, and I think this is a problem a lot of men have. You get in the do mode where you just put your head down. You don't want to be distracted. You're so focused on getting the task done. And it's our greatest strength, but I think it's also our greatest weakness. In every single task that you're doing, whenever you're in the do mode, stop and just for a moment, just remember that existence is temporary for us, contemplate the mystery of life, If you were to die in that moment of do mode, you wouldn't die in the most conscious state that you can, I would say in terms of my priorities in life, my number one is health. Without health, you have absolutely nothing. You're either in a hospital or you're dead, worst case. So prioritizing my health is definitely the most important thing in my life. Second has to be the people in my life. Doesn't matter how much money you have, doesn't matter how much fame you have, any of that. If you don't have good people, good friends and family in your life, I think you're poor. Doesn't matter how much money you have. I love the people in my life so much, and I really hope I let them all know, and I let them know enough that how much I appreciate them. Sometimes I know I don't, and that's something I need to try do more of actively. But my health and the people in my life are absolutely the two most important things. Maybe thirdly then comes, money, because that's just the life we live nowadays. It's freedom in a sense. It's freedom. It allows you need it. But the two before that is health and the people in my life completely. So just to wrap this up, shirtless guy in the woods, to wrap this up, just remember that once you pass away, people are going to remember what it was like to be around you and your energy, and you're a good guy. Just remember that. So don't get lost in the materials, possessions and whatever else. So every day you write the story that is going to be told of your life.